Imagine a warrior walking through a dense, misty forest. He is strong, he is skilled, he is vigilant. But suddenly, out of nowhere, thwack! An arrow flies from the darkness and strikes him in the arm. The pain is instant. It is sharp, burning, and shocking. Blood begins to seep into his clothes. This is a tragedy. This is a wound. But what the warrior does next determines his fate. In a panic, he looks at the arrow. He screams. He falls to his knees. He starts to ask questions. Who shot this? Why me? Why today? I am a good person. I don't deserve this. This is unfair. What if the wound gets infected? What if I can never fight again? My life is over. In his rage and despair, he grabs a second arrow from his own quiver, and he plunges it into the open wound. Now he has two injuries. The first one was inflicted by the world. The second one was inflicted by himself. This is not just a story. This is the story of your life. In Buddhist philosophy, this teaching is known as the Salatha Sutta, the parable of the second arrow. It contains the single most important lesson for anyone seeking mental peace. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Most of us believe that pain and suffering are the same thing. We use the words interchangeably, but they are chemically, biologically, and spiritually different. The first arrow is reality. It is the loss of a job. It is the end of a relationship. It is a diagnosis from a doctor. It is someone saying something cruel to you. The first arrow is the physical or emotional event that happens to you. It hurts. Of course it hurts. You are human. You have a nervous system. You have a heart. When you are cut, you bleed. The Buddha taught that even enlightened beings feel the first arrow. They feel cold. They feel hunger. They feel physical pain. But the second arrow is your reaction to the event. The second arrow is the story you tell yourself about the pain. It is the anger. How dare they do this to me? It is the shame. I am such an idiot for letting this happen. It is the catastrophic thinking. I will never recover from this. It is the resistance. This shouldn't be happening. The first arrow lasts for a moment or a few days. The second arrow can last a lifetime. Think about a moment in your past when someone insulted you. The insult took 3 seconds to say. That was the first arrow. It struck and it stung. But how many times have you replayed that insult in your mind? 10 times? 100 times? 1,000 times? Every time you replay it, you are shooting yourself with the second arrow. The person who insulted you hurt you once. You have hurt yourself 1,000 times. Who is the true enemy here? There is a mathematical formula for suffering that is often used in modern psychology, derived from this ancient wisdom. Suffering equals pain times resistance. If your resistance is 0, then suffering equals pain. You feel the hurt, you acknowledge it, and it passes through you like a wave. But if your resistance is high, if you fight the reality, if you scream no at the universe, then the suffering multiplies. It becomes infinite. Let's look at this in a real-life scenario. Imagine you are stuck in terrible traffic. You are going to be late for an important meeting. The traffic is the first arrow. It is a fact. You cannot move the cars with your mind. But then, the second arrow begins. You grip the steering wheel. Your blood pressure rises. You start cursing the other drivers. You start imagining your boss yelling at you. You start blaming yourself for not leaving earlier. You are now suffering. Does your anger make the cars move faster? No. Does your stress change the time on the clock? No. All you have done is taken an unfortunate situation and turned it into a personal hell. If you removed the second arrow, what would remain? You are sitting in a car. You are going to be late. That is all. You can make a phone call. You can listen to music. You can breathe. The situation is the same, but the experience is completely different. So why do we do this? Why are we addicted to the second arrow? We shoot ourselves because we have a deep, unconscious belief that if we suffer enough, we can change reality. We think that if we worry hard enough, we can prevent the future. We think that if we punish ourselves with guilt, we can fix the past. But this is an illusion. Worrying does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It only empties today of its strength. How do we stop? How do we put down the bow? The cure for the second arrow is a practice called radical acceptance. Radical acceptance does not mean you like the pain. It does not mean you are a doormat. It does not mean you give up. It simply means you stop arguing with what is. When the first arrow strikes, the practice is to say, yes. Yes, this hurts. Yes, I am sad. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, this is happening. By saying yes, you stop the resistance. You stop the multiplication of suffering. You allow the pain to be just pain. And here is the miracle. Pain, when left alone, is a shapeshifter. It flows, it changes, it eventually fades. But pain, when locked in the cage of resistance, becomes solid. It becomes a part of your identity. It becomes a grudge or trauma. Imagine you are standing in the ocean. A giant wave is coming toward you. If you stiffen your body, if you try to fight the wave, if you scream, "No!" the wave will smash you. It will crush you against the sand. That is the second arrow. But if you take a deep breath, relax your body, and dive into the wave, it washes over you. You come out the other side, wet, perhaps a little shaken, but standing. To heal, you must learn to be kind to yourself when you are hurt. When the warrior is shot, he should not scream at himself. He should tend to the wound. He should wash it. He should bandage it. He should rest. When you are in pain, treat yourself like a wounded friend. Do not say, "You are so weak for feeling this." Say, "I know this hurts. I am here with you. We will get through this." Self-compassion is the shield that blocks the second arrow. Let us return to the warrior in the forest. He looks at the arrow in his arm. He feels the throb of the wound. He reaches for his quiver to grab the second arrow, the arrow of blame, the arrow of self-pity. But this time he pauses. He looks at the second arrow in his hand. He sees that the tip is poisoned with bitterness. He understands that this arrow will not save him. It will only kill his spirit. Slowly, deliberately, he drops the second arrow to the ground. He takes a deep breath. He accepts the pain of the first arrow, and he begins to walk home to heal. Life will shoot arrows at you. That is the price of admission to this world. You will lose people you love. You will face illness. You will face failure. You cannot control the archers of the world, but you are the master of your own quiver. The next time you are hurt, pay attention. Feel the first arrow. Respect it. But catch your hand before you reach for the second one. You have suffered enough. Drop the arrow and be free. If you are ready to let go of unnecessary suffering, declare it to yourself. Thank you for watching. Drop the arrow. Stay whole.